restoration of the Chief Justice of Pakistan brings hope of a new beginning. Will we see the military back in the barracks? Is this a new beginning for Pakistan? Well, my guest today leads the largest political party in Pakistan and is the one force who could possibly take the military back to the barracks. Ms. Benazir Bhutto, welcome to 24/7.
Thank you.
Well, everyone's smiling. I haven't stopped smiling since the judgment came out. Now, you had said earlier that you were open to negotiation, that you would be willing to actually talk with General Musharraf, to see a way forward. Do you still see that door open, or do you think it's not necessary now to go into negotiation with him?
Well, a dialogue is always important. The doors of dialogue are never shut. I mean, look at all the years we did dialogue with India over Kashmir. We haven't got a settlement yet, but maybe we haven't got a deterioration of the situation. So too in our dialogue with General Musharraf, we would like to see the military go back to the barracks. We'd like a facilitated transfer to democracy. And the main issue for us is, how does that happen? Fair elections is what we're asking for, and a balance of power between the presidency and the parliament. In the 90s, what politics was like. All the governments came and went like 9 pins. So we really think that the power to dismiss the Prime Minister is one that destabilizes democracy and really shouldn't be there.
Right. Now, you talked about the doors to dialogue being open, but the lawyers' movement, which they say is going to continue. I mean, according to Ali Ahmed Khurd, he said that the movement now carries on and the slogan is "Go Musharraf, go." He said, we're not interested in Mr. Shaukat Aziz being the fall guy for this reference. We want the person who actually submitted the reference, which is the president. So where do you see your party in a movement like that? Would you support it?
Well, our party hasn't met to take a decision on it. And obviously, when we're approached by the lawyers' movement, we would certainly look at it. We want an end of military rule. We want the military to go back to the barracks, and we want the revival of the Constitution. Now, what are the best tactics to proceed? Let us see. We're quite happy to hear the lawyers about it. But it would really depend on the Supreme Court, because we wouldn't want to be party to any situation that led to emergency, for example, or any situation which led to a new general taking over and promising elections in 90 days and then postponing those elections because of this particular window of opportunity. We're now in the run-up to the elections. If somebody had told us a year ago, or 2 years ago, or 5 years ago, it was a different situation. So yes, we would like a peaceful political transition to democracy. We've been fighting for that. I remember as a young child distributing badges against Ayub Khan's military dictatorship. So I'm against military dictatorship and have spent a life fighting it. We are willing to look at these proposals.
So you'd look at joining the lawyers' campaign once, your party would meet and then they'd take a decision. And
when we are approached as to what exactly is to be done.
Okay, because they're all very sort of euphoric at the moment. The lawyers' movement actually fired the imagination of the nation. It brought everybody out onto the streets. It in a way did what the political parties recently have not been able to do. So do you feel that there's something missing in the political parties? There's some sort of message that's missing, or there's a leadership vacuum in Pakistan?
I know that's what you're saying. And the way I look at it, yes, there is a leadership vacuum in Pakistan, undoubtedly, because the leaders of the two major parties are out of the country. But the way I look at it is that the lawyers' badge brought something that political parties couldn't, because political parties are partisan. So we have hesitation in joining up with each other, which is why I think the political parties chose to term this as a lawyers' movement and to stay behind. Because under the lawyers' movement, people from all political parties could gather, including the government. After all, the PMLQ appointees in the prosecutors' department, assistant advocate generals, etc., prosecutors, they were resigning too.
That's right.
So it was done. If it was a PPP movement, you wouldn't have seen the Q or the MMA, or if it was MMA, PPP would have felt hesitant. So we needed a platform to unite civil society and the political parties. In a political thing, civil society can't take part. So even NGOs can take part in a movement for the independence of the judiciary. So in that sense, the continuation of the lawyers' movement is important because it's a badge or a symbol around which we gather. But I do want to say that it would not have been possible without the political parties. I want to remember all those families who gave their husbands and their fathers on May 12th.
Absolutely.
In Karachi, I want to remember all those families who gave their loved ones in Islamabad on July 17th. This movement picked up momentum because there were the brave sons and daughters and fathers and husbands of this land who came forward. And I think of their children now that they are no more in the world.
Yeah, no, it was obviously it was really tragic what happened in Karachi and Islamabad, and as you said, the political parties were there; they were at the back. But now, if this movement
Giving the sacrifices.
giving sacrifice and playing an important role, but there's been some criticism because people feel that the role could have been greater. It could have been a much bigger role, and now I think.
Well, I want to ask you, who gave a bigger role than sacrificing so many workers? Give me one person or one party. You know, people
the NPM jump up
they
and say
want
they
to they want to take the credit from those that deserve it. I don't want the credit. But I think that our workers belonging to the working classes, belonging to lower middle class families, they really played the crucial, not just ours, but even those in proportion of other democratic parties. And it's very well, to take the cream and say we did everything, but just let's be specific. Which senator of which party got bludgeoned on the head?
Absolutely.
Other
right.
than a senator of the PPP.
Lateef Khosa, yes.
Which scores of party workers were killed other than the PPP? Which scores of people ended up in prisons from Pindi to Miyawali and died in prison like our worker Sarmat in Gujarat? So I do respect the sacrifice of others, but I expect them to acknowledge the sacrifice of the humble PPP worker who rallied to the cause of the lawyers' movement to see the restoration of the Chief Justice.
I don't think anyone's taking away from the sacrifice. I think what people are talking about are the numbers, that the numbers could have been greater. And so people are wondering now that if this movement does convert into now a movement to remove President General Musharraf, how large would the People's Party role be in that movement, or all the political parties for that matter? I think that's what people are looking for.
Well,
now.
as I said, that we have certain objectives. We haven't reached any settlement with General Musharraf, contrary to what is being said. I know the PMLQ loves to say that, because of the cases, she's going to come and we're going to have her in our little camp. But the fact of the matter is that the cases are 10 years old. And if I wanted to settle on the cases, well, I would have settled in 99 or 2000 and got my husband out. I've been fighting for the rights of the people. And I believe in democracy. I believe it leads to development. It leads to the emancipation of women. It protects the minorities, the weak and the dispossessed. And that's what I'd like to see in Pakistan.
Well, they're calling it the mother of all deals. But we're all waiting. We're all waiting to see what the terms of the deal are. But again, you're sitting outside of Pakistan, and Mr. Nawaz Sharif is sitting outside of Pakistan. So again, as I said, the people feel there's a leadership vacuum in Pakistan. So do you feel there's a need for a strong second-tier leadership? I mean, an effective and strong leadership.
Well, I think we have a strong and effective second-tier leadership. After all, when there's a vacuum of 10 years, people have had all the opportunity possible who are in Pakistan to have made a name for themselves, especially when they had platforms of Mr. Nawaz's party and mine. But now I think that vacuum is going to end because I'm going back and I'm going to take the risk because I think it's important to use this opportunity of the elections to save Pakistan from what I see is not just dictatorship, but extremism.
You said you're planning to go back. When are you planning to go back? How soon?
Tammy, I'd love to announce it, right?
I would love you to do that.
Right, yeah. But I think I better announce it as per my schedule.
Oh, no.
I'm planning to, it's not many months either.
It's really soon. So this is like the preview.
It's the preview, just for you.